Here's what people have to say about the 2025 event cruise.
Over the top.
Fantastic.
Fun.
One of a kind.
Exciting. A must try.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Breakthrough.
Don't miss out on all the fun on the 2026 event cruise. You're not going to want to miss it. Join us.
Well, there you go, everybody. Welcome to the show. We have all kinds of incredible news to talk about. We have new terminals. We have cruise lines being banned. We've got itinerary changes, just lost things. And, of course, we have a crazy cruise comment for you guys as well. So welcome to the show. If you're new around here, I am your host, Robert, a.k.a. The Tall Man. This is my lovely wife, Lisa, a.k.a. Mrs. Tall Man. Not that anyone ever calls her that. We are coming to you live from somewhere in much warmer Central Florida than where most of you are. So before we get into the show, our thoughts go out to those who have been affected by Winter Storm Fern. Over 1 million people without power right now. It is swept across the country this weekend. In fact, like Nashville, 90% of the people in Nashville are without power.
Wow.
So for those of you who do have power and joining us, thank you. If you are with us, please a little bit of thoughts and prayers for those that are affected. There's a lot of people that have over a foot of snow. A lot of the power outages are caused by the ice that was in front of the storm. So, yeah, it's been kind of a nasty weekend out there for a lot of people. There have been at least 11 deaths associated with the storm. So, again, we hope everybody is well, and we wish those who have been affected a speedy recovery. On a side note, also for those in Italy and Sicily affected by Cyclone Harry, we know a lot of people there, obviously, due to our ties to Italy, and they don't get weather like cyclones.
They don't. Yeah, they're not used to this at all. They're more used to, earthquakes than cyclones. Yeah.
So this was a new experience for them, and they're not made for that, if you will,
No.
right? So our thoughts to those as well. There's a lot of devastation there as well.
Yes,
so,
absolutely.
Let's get going into the news, shall we? Oh, well, that's a little bit off, isn't it?
Yeah, well.
Did you change views?
I don't know what happened. When we looked at this earlier, it looked good.
Yeah, let's try that one. Yeah, that's better.
That's better.
That's better. Okay. So the first thing we're going to talk about tonight, which, by the way, again, if you're joining us for the first time, we do this a little bit different. We do it live. We are 100% live right now, and we do that so we can have a conversation with you guys because a lot of you have opinions about things that happen in the cruise industry. So instead of just producing a video about the news, we're going to bring it to you live in a live broadcast where you can engage with us. Just leave your comments in the chat because we will talk to you here. So, but let's get to the first story. The first story is actually out of Los Angeles. Los Angeles is getting a new cruise terminal. So, and a pretty spiffy looking one.
I know, but it's much smaller than I was thinking a new terminal would be.
Well, it's going to accommodate 2 ships. So here's a map of the greater LA basin, if you will, where cruise terminals and the ports are, if you will. So on the far right above us, that is the Carnival Terminal, and that is technically in Long Beach, and it only serves Carnival. Now, on the other side up to the top, that is the current terminal, which is called the World Cruiser Terminal or World Cruise Terminal. And it serves everybody else that leaves out of that area, from Royal and Princess. I've seen Viking stop there and NCL, a few others as well, okay? The World Cruise Terminal served about 1.6 million people last year. And so now they're going to be building a new one, which is directly to my left. That area is called the Outer Harbor. And there is already a dock there. They use it as overflow, but there's no building. It's just a big parking lot. And they're going to be turning it into a major terminal. Here's a little sort of video of it. There we go. So you guys can see it is absolutely a stunning looking terminal. It's going to be able to accommodate all the mega ships, which the current terminals cannot.
Correct.
So it's going to be, as you see, sort of in the form of a donut or a circle, and they'll be able to have 2 ships, one on either side. What's neat is that center park area there. I believe that is actually going to be technically open to the public. And so you can come in and go down. You can see there's people sitting on the stairs there and watch the ships come and go.
Oh, well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Very unique concept. So one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about this is I find it interesting that they're building bigger infrastructure for more ships, because out of Southern California, there really is very, very limited options on where you can go, right? Because of the Passenger Vessel Service Act, you have to visit a foreign country.
Yes.
If you're leaving from a U.S. port and returning to a U.S. port, whether it's the same port or another port, excuse me, you have to visit a foreign country.
Yes.
And so mostly the longer cruises do what is called Mexican Riviera, where they're stopping in Cabo and Mazatlan, Puerto Vallarta. Those are the 3 main stops out of the West Coast. We'll get back over here. I think you guys get the hint, if you will, of what it looks like.
Oh, it's going to be beautiful.
Yeah, it is going to be beautiful. So, but there's very limited things. Now, shorter cruises, they'll go to like Ensenada or Catalina Island. But there's really, really strict limitations onto what cruises can do off of the West Coast.
But, you know, I think it's more about bringing the mega ships in so the people on the West Coast can see what it's like to experience the Oasis and the Icon class ships and even the XL class ships and you know, world class ships. I think it's more about that.
Of course, you're going to be going to the same 3 places you always go to.
Yeah,
That's
but...
That's how I feel about Cozumel.
Yeah, but how do we feel about it? It's the ship is the destination. So
for us, yeah.
So and I think that this is going to I'll give it a little bit of variety, even though it's not the destination. It is the ship that people will, over there on the West Coast will get to experience.
Maybe they can rotate them in and out some more.
Yeah, maybe.
But how do they get there? Can they go through the Panama Canal?
Oh, good point.
Just saying.
Well, that's going to be a heck of a cruise.
Right? They're building it for the mega ships, but
like those
repositioning
cruises.
They have to take the long route to get there.
They do, yeah. That's true. I didn't think about that.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right.
They can't get through the Panama Canal.
No, they can't.
Which brings me back to the 3 locations. So I foresee a buildup of private islands.
Oh,
not that there would be islands, but you know,
that,
private destinations.
That could be. Yeah, maybe.
Isn't Royal already working on one?
Yeah, they're doing a Royal. They're doing a Perfect Day Mexico, right? But that's out by Cozumel. It's on the other coast of Mexico.
Yeah.
So, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, wouldn't surprise me either. So I don't know. What do you think? Cruising out of LA. Look, again, for those who are on the West Coast that love to cruise, I mean, this is a great thing. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing at all. It's just a little strange because there's so few choices, at least out of the East Coast, specifically the more south you get, you have many more options from the, you know, all Southern Caribbean, Eastern Caribbean, Western Caribbean. I mean, there's so many more options sailing out off the East Coast.
Well, you know, and I suppose this is going to be traded out, I guess, with the Asian areas, you know, Japan and because that's where the cruise that we were from Japan, we ended up in California.
Correct.
So,
well, it repositioned to spend the season here.
It did, yes, but I mean that would make it convenient.
It would
repositioning.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you guys think? Exciting or not so much? I don't know.
I don't know. I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah. All right. So let's see. Did I forget anything else with that particular news story? I don't think I did. Yeah, I think that was it. So the next big thing, Amsterdam. is in the news.
Okay.
Amsterdam is they're banning cruise lines.
Oh my.
Or at least they're trying to.
Oh my.
So this has been going on for a few years. It started about 3 years ago. And like a lot of cities, these cruise ships come in and, pollution and this, that, or whatever. And the port in Amsterdam is literally downtown Amsterdam. So what they first came up with, the first plan is, we're going to move the port. We're going to move it to the east side, sorry, and get it away from downtown.
I'm directionally challenged. I don't care which way you point. It's east to me.
Right. And so that was the original plan was we're going to construct a new terminal and we're going to move the ships away from the city center because of the congestion and a few other things. Well, they have completely blown that plan out of the water. Now, by 2035, it'll be a full ban. No cruise ships.
Wow.
River ships will be decreased by half.
Really? Wow.
They'll still allow the river cruises, but by half. Now, here's what I find interesting. Several things. One, the current government that's putting this plan in place, well, they're going to be gone in 3 months.
Well, that's funny.
And so, it has to be approved. It has to be put to a vote. I mean, there's a lot of things that have to happen. This is not, by any stretch of the imagination, in stone. But the fact that it's now sort of in the public, this is what we want, these kind of things, it's an interesting conversation because Amsterdam, tourism there is a massive part of their economy. Now, this is another fascinating thing with this. So, according to the officials there, that if they ban cruise ships over 30 years' time, that will only impact them about $57 million over 30 years. Again, I had to read that 3 times to make sure it wasn't a B or something, because tourism brings in approximately 11 billion US dollars a year into Amsterdam. Now, of course, not everybody comes there on cruise ships. A lot of people fly in there, they stay, for a week, this to whatever. But the point is, cruise lines and cruise passengers like us, we are a big part of those numbers. And that just doesn't add up to me, meaning over 30 years, it's only going to impact their economy by 57 million. I think that would be, at the very least, 1 year, if not, 6 months, considering tourism is about 11 billion US dollars there a year.
Yeah, I'm trying to process that in my head, and it's just not computing. So I don't know.
Of course, in the plan to recoup some of that money, they're going to replace the terminals and the pier and the dock with housing and restaurants.
Okay.
Which, if anybody went and look on a map, look at Google Maps and look at the Port of Amsterdam, you can see there's a good chunk of housing and restaurants and dining and stuff already. So I just, here's another one of these cities that right now it's a conversation. Right?
That's what I was just wondering, if that's, like the carnival compensation plan change. We're giving it a year.
They still did it.
A long period of time so we can make changes. I don't know.
Well, it's one thing to have a conversation. It's another thing to implement a plan like this. And then all of a sudden, where's all the money? Where'd all the money go? Right? I mean, think about it. Ship comes into town and all the passengers get off and they're doing shore excursions and they're eating in town and they're buying souvenirs and all these different things. I mean, that is direct money into their economy.
I would think so, yeah.
Right? And into people's pockets too, right? All the local tourism companies, as well as restaurants and shops and things, right? And all of a sudden that goes away. Gone. And okay, it was a great conversation, but wait a minute. Our bottom line is now 35% off. Right? Because those people that build houses, they're not going to take tours. They're not, they may go to a restaurant from time to time, But
Yeah, but the excursions, yeah.
they're not going to be buying, I Love Amsterdam T-shirts.
No, probably not.
They live there.
That's like us. We don't go to Disney because it's right there.
Yeah.
They're in the backyard, basically. So we just don't do it. So I can't imagine that they're going to be any different.
No. So, look, there's been a huge initiative in the cruise industry for all the newer ships. They're all being constructed with LNG. So they're burning cleaner fuels. All the ports are converting I shouldn't say converting, but adding shore power. So when the ships come in, they can plug in instead of keeping their engines running. And so that decreases all the emissions and things. I mean, we actually did a whole video on the pollution and emissions and things that ships cause and the difference in the fuel. I don't think I have a link for it in the description, but if you wanted to see more and learn more about the fuels and the different particles and things that the cruise ships create, you can go search it. It probably is in our tips and tricks playlist on our channel. So that being said, do us a huge favor, everybody. If you haven't already done so, hit that thumbs up button. Consider subscribing if you love cruising and you're love staying up to date in the cruise news, really detailed ship tours. Come consider joining and becoming part of the Tall Man Clan. We would love to have you.
Absolutely. We appreciate all those thumbs up. Thank you so much,
Yes,
guys. We
applause.
appreciate it.
Applause. Well, let's see what people are saying, okay? Macrina, happy snow again. I know, right? It's crazy out there. Hello, Dr. Shree. How are you? Patricia, good to see you as well. Jan, hopefully you and the Mac family are doing okay. Got enough snow for snowman. Oh, my gosh, Mama Tall Man. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. I mean, we're a little early, but we had, did you post a picture yet?
I did not. I was going to wait until her actual
Yeah, her
birthday.
birthday's in a couple days, but we actually had a birthday dinner with Mama Tall Man yesterday. So, where'd my mouse go? Here it is. Mark, good to see you tonight. How are you doing? Bev, good evening from the least snow corner of Ontario. Right? Elaine, how are you doing? Good to see you. Patricia's like, Jan, I will draw a snowman instead. Happy drawing. Me too. Good evening, Gina. How are you doing? Macrina's like, I want to build a cruise ship. I know, right? Oh, event cruise promo. Woohoo! Right? Y'all caught that, right? I got the most largest snow in Ontario. Okay. Mama told me, says, great photos. Today reminds me of why we moved to Florida. I know, right? Macrina's like,
Definitely.
thanks for using the same music. I know. Pain in my butt. You believe it or not, it took me I couldn't find it.
He couldn't. He went through every clip of music that he's got. It was like the last one.
It took me 4 hours to find that stinking. Anyway, we're on the Regal Princess next Sunday for 2 weeks. Woohoo! Yeah, we were going to talk a little bit about some. I mean, we already talked about the weather here in the United States with the snowstorm. That's affected the cruise industry as well. I mean, ships
yeah.
leaving out of anywhere up and down the East Coast and even into the Jubilee and stuff out of Galveston.
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
So, but ultimately, it's Sunday. The storm is almost offshore now, so
It's coming towards us now.
breakthrough. Yes, Danny, it was. Woo! That says 286 days. I know. I got to try to get the countdown over there. We'll get back to the news in just a minute. Yeah, the ice in Mississippi is scary. Yeah, Bev. Mississippi and Tennessee, which is why they're widespread mass power outages.
Yeah, I've seen some really scary videos of people trying to drive through that.
Yeah, Mark's praying for
stay
everybody.
home
Thank
if you
you.
can.
Fantastic 2020. I know 2025 event cruise was amazing. You guys definitely want to come with us for 2026. Patricia says, still snowing here too. Weather report states until about 6 a.m. tomorrow. Yeah.
Wow.
5 inches in Kansas.
Wow.
Elaine says, ice in Texas.
Yikes.
What's up, Roderick? How are you doing tonight, buddy? Good evening, Robert and Lisa and the entire TMC family. Blessing and prayers to everybody affected by the severe weather. Thank you so much. Ashley, good to see you, hon. How are you doing? Where is the parking? I don't know. You got me on that, Mark. Sorry.
You're going to have to expand on that one a little bit.
Bev is sending. Bev says, I wish there were more West Coast cruises up to San Francisco, Seattle, Victoria, and Vancouver, then Alaska. So it's a time thing, right? So the further south you are, the more time it gets up in there. And of course, I'm not sure, maybe not. I don't know. Obviously, they've done the studies that if you're in Southern California and you get on a ship, you probably aren't wanting to stop in San Francisco and Seattle, but you are going to have to go to Vancouver because you have to stop in another country.
I don't know. How about Perfect Day Victoria?
Right?
Why not?
There's like Carnival in Ensenada. I know. Love going to LA. Yeah, well, I mean, we went out to LA as well. I mean, we came into LA on the Ovation of the Seas.
And we went out
And
of
we went
LA
out
on the Firenze.
on the Firenze, right? So we've been to both terminals.
Yeah.
Roderick says, great idea. It's way overdue. Which, by the way, and I forgot to mention, they're also going to update the current terminal.
Oh,
So
okay.
they're getting the brand new one that will accommodate up to the megaships, but they're also going to be refurbishing the older terminal.
Oh, well, I missed that part of the information.
I
Nice.
didn't mention. I'm sorry.
Oh no! Well, I mean, when I was doing my own research,
Gotcha, yeah.
I didn't catch that at all. So that's good.
Macrina says, love my Pacific cruise on the Panorama 2 years ago and would love a megaship to Hawaii. Well, so we're going to talk about Hawaii in just a couple of minutes because that's going to be kind of interesting. Also, absolutely love staying on the Queen Mary, says Macrina. We stayed there as well. I'd love to stay there another day because it was kind of an in and out. We got there, dropped the bags, ran to the party.
Firenze party, yes.
Yep, the pre-sailing party, the naming ceremony, excuse me. And then boom, the next morning we were on the ship.
So we really didn't get to spend as much time as
Yeah.
we would have liked to. Yeah.
Everybody wishing Mama Tall Man a happy birthday. Yep, it's actually in a couple days, but we had the birthday celebration this weekend because we could all be there. So we did that. You cannot make people want cruise tourism. It may take a reduction in tourism to realize the impact cruising has on tourism. Gina, that was my exact point, right? Right now, it's a great conversation. All the pollution, the big ships bring, and the congestion, and this, that, and whatever, and and all the rebel rousing and all this stuff, and okay, and they voted in, and then all of a sudden one day the ships are gone. Everybody's like, well.
Yeah, they're going to start feeling it in the wallet.
Where's my money? Right?
Yeah.
So, like I said, it's great in conversation, but I don't know. I thought moving the cruise terminal was a good idea. Get it out of the downtown area, move it off to the east side of town, and but that was going to be like $100 million. I forget what it was.
A big cost to expand. Gotcha.
Yeah. It was going to be $100 million to build a new terminal. So
That is a big bill.
it is. It really is. Macrina's like 18 plus inches of snow at her house and still snowing.
Yikes.
I know, crazy. Marquis is talking about the parking lot in the new LA cruise port. Didn't see any. It's there. It's. I don't think it's pictured very well, but it was there. It's off to one of the sides. So yeah, they're going to have to. Hopefully, it's not just surface parking. I would assume they're going to put a parking garage there because they are servicing potentially two megaships.
Well, especially if they're going to be allowing the public in as well to watch the ship departures.
Yeah.
You're definitely going to need more parking.
Yeah. Yep. In fact, interesting, you look at the map, I'll bring this back up, and, they look relatively close. I mean, as the crow flies, but believe it or not, it's a 9-mile journey from the Carnival Terminal up there over to the World Center Terminal. Now, probably it's going to be 11 or 12 miles to the new terminal, the outer harbor terminal or the harbor terminal, which, by the way, no date has been set when it'll be open. But,
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, they're definitely, because there's nowhere to park. It's kind of a peninsula, as you can see from the map. So
Yeah, my guess is they're going to have a garage there somewhere.
all right, well, let's keep on going with the news. We are going to be talking about Spectrum of the Seas and some troubles going on overseas.
Oh, no.
Right? So the Spectrum of the Seas is currently, they're full-time over in Asia. And they sail different itineraries. But they do visit Japan quite a bit. And they leave from a variety of different places. In fact, here, let me just read some of the itineraries, so we're all in the same boat here, because I find it interesting of what they're doing. Spectrum of the Seas. Sorry, I had this up and I deleted it by accident. So sorry, guys.
Oh no.
So it's currently in Shanghai, China, and that is their main base of operations. But they do move over to Hong Kong and do round trip from Hong Kong as well, but mostly from Shanghai, China. And so there's a little bit of tension going on right now between China and Japan.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
And the reality is there's always tension going on between China and Japan, like since World War II.
Well, that's true.
And sometimes it has a peak, and it's the cycle, right? They're not shooting missiles at one another, right? They're just, there's tension. Well, because of the tension, the Spectrum of the Seas has decided to not go to Japan from some of its itineraries.
Interesting.
And so, like, for instance, I'll just pick this. I don't know if it does it on 5-day cruises or not, but from Shanghai, they're replacing lots of the Japanese places with places in South Korea instead. And so somebody was making a comment that is from South Korea, and it's now going to stop in their hometown. And so they found it kind of funny. They weren't too mad, but obviously mad enough.
Well, they left home to get probably to get away, go experience something new, and now they're back at home.
Yeah. Now, not all of the cruises have changed, but some of them. But look, like for us, we just flew this year over to Japan to get on a ship because we wanted to see Japan. This was one of the things on our bucket list.
Absolutely.
And so I can understand, at least, and we talk about this a lot with people with ports and itineraries that change going to the Caribbean. Somebody has their heart set on going to, again, Cozumel, whatever. It doesn't matter the place, or Grand Cayman, and they have to skip it because of bad weather, because Cayman is a tender port, right?
Yes.
And of course, we've been there many times, so if we have to skip it on one cruise, we're like, well, maybe we'll catch it the next time.
Yeah, we'll catch it again. It's not a big deal for us,
but
I can see.
Because we're in Florida, right? So, it's a hour drive for us to get on a ship. Well, we want to fly to China to get on a ship, or wherever, and we're doing that because the itinerary goes to Japan.
And now it doesn't.
And now it's not going to Japan.
Yeah, that's... I mean, I get it. I get the frustration.
That's a long flight.
It is, yeah.
I mean, that's a long distance.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about, nowhere. They like none of the places in Japan. They cut them all out.
Wow.
So I
wonder if that's going to trickle down, because it was the Ovation of the Seas is the ship that we were on.
Yep.
And I know that they were based mostly in China, I believe Hong Kong, and they occasionally go over to Japan.
Yes.
So I wonder if that's going to trickle
I
down
don't know.
to them as well.
I don't know. I can look up their itineraries as well. Let me just back up real quick, everybody, and see what the Ovation is doing. Because it is, currently it's in Alaska. Well, it was in Alaska. Now it's back. Come on, scroll. Because it comes over here, back in Singapore.
Okay, Singapore. Okay.
It's in Singapore.
Okay.
And it's doing mostly shorter cruises, but towards the end of the season, it then goes to Tokyo.
Okay, so that's what
to pick up people, and then
come
does
back
Trans-Pacific.
over to yes. Okay.
But eventually, we'll end up in LA.
Gotcha. So probably it's not going to affect them as much then, because that's a special. That's a
Correct.
crossing
That's
cruise.
really sort of a one-off.
Gotcha.
Where the Spectrum is there full time.
Yes. Gotcha.
It just look. I understand what recently happened in Venezuela. Understand that military action, keep the ships away. I get all that. I get what goes on in Haiti.
Yes.
We've seen the videos. There's the gangs run the country now. They literally walk the street with weapons, like
Which
automatic
is a shame,
weapons.
because it's a beautiful country.
It is a beautiful
but
country.
Just too dangerous.
It is not safe.
No.
But there's no reason in my opinion, from where I sit, unfortunately,
To stop going to Japan.
to stop going to Japan at this
No,
point.
I get it. I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. What do y'all think? Anybody else out there maybe a little bit deeper in tune of the tension over there? But from everything that I was able to read and look up, it's just chit chat, right? But as I mentioned, it's been going on since the mid 40s. It's nothing new, and so I just think it's pretty crappy. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, from our time over there, which was very brief, admittedly.
Yes.
I that's not the opinion that I had gotten. Many of the people that were on the ship with us were Japanese as well as Chinese people on the ship with us, and I mean, I didn't.
Yeah.
Of course, I don't speak the language, so I don't know
Now,
what was being said. But
now some of this could come down to the passenger list, because China's foreign ministry has issued a travel advisory to people from China to avoid going to Japan. So
okay,
if the passenger manifest on this ship is heavily Chinese, they may have had to do this because
people didn't want to go.
people didn't want to go, at least from China,
Yeah.
because their government is telling them you
Okay.
shouldn't go to
Well,
Japan.
that makes sense.
Not that there's anything wrong with going to Japan.
Yeah. No.
That's just
Uh,
right.
Yeah. I mean, that's a territorial, cultural thing. So,
Yes.
I mean, I get that too.
So, but I know, and the reason why Royal Caribbean positions the ship over there, just as like anybody else, is, Royal Caribbean is really mainly a U.S.-based sort of cruise line, if you will, same with Carnival and NCL and a few of these other companies. And those who are loyal to Royal or any of the cruise lines, you're used to their method, their food, their systems, how their
Absolutely.
cruises look and feel and all this stuff. And so if you want to go over to Asia or Europe, you're more prone to book with that cruise line you're familiar with.
Exactly. Absolutely.
It's why the MSC ships here in America, a lot of them, there's still a very heavy influence of Europeans on these,
Absolutely.
because this is a European cruise line. And so now, of course, I would say maybe 50-50. So 50% US, 50% European. So maybe that's the same in China. 50% Chinese, 50% elsewhere. So I don't know. But from where we sit, it just looks pretty crappy that they're canceling.
Yeah. I mean, it does. But I mean, I can see both sides. So I don't know.
Well, since we're picking on Royal for a moment, maybe we'll just stay here.
Okay.
The Anthem of the Seas. The Port Anthem of the Seas is it's in Australia.
Okay.
It's in Sydney, and it's having some technical issues.
Oh, no.
Technical issues.
We've been on the Anthem of the Seas.
Yes, we have.
So what are the technical issues? Do we know?
Of course not. That's why they call them technical issues. But let's call it what it is. It's one of two things. Either one of their generators is down or one of their azipods, because they're only cruising at about 14 knots when they should be cruising at 22 knots. So
Gotcha.
this has affected a couple of things. One, the cruise that is currently sailing right now is going to be getting back to port late. Oddly enough, not too late. They're supposed to be back at like 6 in the morning, and they're going to get back at 4 in the afternoon. So kind of like
Okay.
our cruise that we were on
On
where
the horizon,
we had
yes,
some
on our-
technical issues,
On our event cruise, yes.
right? So same kind of thing. However, they have decided to cancel the entire next cruise, which is a 10-day sailing.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So whatever the technical issues are major enough that they're actually canceling an entire cruise.
Wow.
So-
yeah.
Let's talk about some of what they're doing first, and then we'll get into my thoughts behind this, because I don't know.
And I feel like that class of ship has had some issues before, hasn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like azipod issues or something. If I may be wrong, but that's sticking in the back of my head.
So for everybody that's on the ship now, They're going to be giving them access to phones at customer service to change flights. They're also going to get a voucher for 120 minutes use of the internet if you need to do that. If there are costs associated to change flights, they will give up to $200 for domestic and $400 for international. Remember, this is Sydney.
Yes.
So anybody outside of Australia, it's an international flight.
Yes.
But they're going to give them $400.
Gotcha.
Okay. Because of the late hour, if they can't get a flight out that night, they will cover up to $250 for a hotel.
Okay.
Now, mind you, you have to turn in your receipts and get it approved. But I'm just saying what they're doing. Okay. For the next cruise that they're canceling, those people are getting a 100% refund.
As they should.
As they should. As well as a 25% future cruise credit
Nice.
that has to be used within the next 12 months.
Okay.
Right? I think that it should be at least a couple of years, but whatever. Okay. They're also going to get $200 for domestic flights, $400 for international flights,
Okay.
and $250 for 2 nights of hotel accommodations,
Okay.
and $100 per person per day for incidental charges.
Okay.
So again, all of this stuff has to be turned in, approved. I don't know what the $100 per person per day for incidental charges is at this point, because I believe the next cruise was, I thought it was on the 27th. So yeah, it's a couple days away. So this news came out on the 24th. So, you're right at the cusp of getting on a plane, right?
Or you're going there a week in advance and you're already there.
Yeah.
I mean, Australia from the U.S., that would be what I would want to do.
So
Take our lesson from Japan.
here's and I want to hear from you guys on this subject. So I feel at least once a week we hear about some ship from some cruise line. They're all included. This is not just picking on Royal. This is everybody out there has some sort of technical issues that are causing slower speeds, that are requiring this, that, or whatever. Some are cured within a couple days. Some take a couple of weeks. In this case, with the Anthem of the Seas, it's actually unknown if they even need dry dock. So that was not talked about. But they are canceling a whole cruise. So again, a lot of people's plans, right? This is their vacation, flights and hotels, and it's overseas, right? It's in Australia. And we just talked about this with the spectrum of at least probably 50% of those passengers are people that are flying from over here. This is a big thing.
It is, yeah.
Giving them $400 for flight.
That's
I think they're pushing these ships too much. That's sort of where I wanted to go with this, right? They have a max cruising speed of like 22 knots, and they're trying to go further in the same amount of time that they used to go less distance. So they're having to push the ships harder and harder and harder. Now, that being said, routine maintenance solves a lot of these problems. But sometimes routine maintenance means you have to take the ship out of commission. Now, maybe it just needs to be a day, right? Shut everything down because you need access to this, that, or whatever. Again, I don't know. I'm not an engineer on a ship. Maybe it takes 3 days. I don't know. The point is, there's been a lot of cruise ship technical difficulties happening in recent times.
that is very true. Yeah.
And so instead of this is my take. Instead of taking a slower pace of things, it's probably less expensive for the cruise lines to deal with a canceled cruise and some onboard credit or future cruise credits or adjusting flights for current than to periodically not schedule a cruise so they can have preventative maintenance.
That's an interesting thought. I don't know.
Not conspiracy theory.
I mean,
but
I wouldn't think so. You would think if it's, scheduled, a scheduled thing, that it,
no. I'm not talking about scheduled dry dock. They do that every 6 years because they got to inspect the hull and all these things. I'm talking about, look, these engines, they never shut off.
no.
They're always going. Now, we talked about this in the first piece or not the first piece, but when we were talking about Amsterdam, the first piece. Most of the docks, most of the terminals are now installing shore power. So they can shut the engines down when they're in port,
That's true.
but that's 8 hours. So you have an 8-hour window, maybe a little bit longer, because a lot of times you'll get into port an hour, hour and a half before passengers get off. But in the end, you have a short window where engines will be off. And so instead of waiting for the big 6-year window dry dock where everything's shut down, it would be my suggestion that every 6 months they have a 3-day period or sometime where the ship can be not occupied by guests, where they can do these critical preventative maintenance things to prevent the technical difficulties that are happening. Now, that being said, look, stuff breaks. It does. I'm throwing
Without
that
a
stuff
doubt.
out. But I swear, is it me or is it once a week? There's some cruise ship that has a technical difficulty.
It does seem like every week we're reporting on it.
Yeah.
But, like you said, things break. I mean, heck, we changed the oil in the truck and it's leaking again. So, I mean,
Yeah.
things do happen.
I preventative maintenance,
Yeah.
right? So I don't know. I want to see what and hear what your take is on this. I just think they're pushing the ships too hard, and they're not spending the time needed for preventative maintenance.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, can you run the ship too hard? If you run it, at top speed constantly, does that wear it out sooner than if you, take it slower? I don't know.
I don't know.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Fire minds. But or like anything else, if you sail at slower speeds, you have to add a day. So instead of a 7-day cruise, it's an 8-day cruise, or a 4-day cruise, it's a 5-day cruise, whatever it is. You're adding a day, but you're not having to push the engines and or generators. But then you may always have one as a spare because you're not having to run both full out.
Yeah, I don't know.
I thought most of these ships had like 4 generators, and they run 2 and have 2 in spare. I don't know.
I thought they had redundancy in their backup systems these days, but maybe not.
Lots of technical difficulties.
And that brings up another question. If they've got the redundancy in the systems, or things already broken and we don't know about it,
And they're
then
not.
they run it
They're not doing the preventative maintenance.
I don't know. That's an
They're-
interesting
they're-
question.
They're all showing record profits.
They are.
I don't know. Danny Mac says, Macrina says, I have a feeling the short cruises in East Asia are not booze cruises. No, I don't know, but I would
Probably not.
I would guess not. I would guess that too. China's probably putting pressure on Royal Caribbean to not go to Japan, obey or lose their home port. Probably. Yeah,
That's my guess, yeah.
probably. A lot of tension between China and Hong Kong or Taiwan than Japan, I would think. Yeah, Taiwan's in there. That's the main cause of the tension. But they've been arguing over Taiwan since the mid-40s, and there's a couple other islands as well. It's just ongoing conversation.
Interesting.
What's up, Angie? How are you doing? Danny Mac's like 14 knots. Sounds familiar. I know, right? Same thing we just went through. Heard they are having propulsion issues. Well, that would, again, be the slower speed, right? Just like the Horizon when we were on there for the event cruise. These ships that have, even if they don't have azipods, their propellers they don't spin the old way. The old way was a big long shaft, went right into the engine, and the engine is turning the propeller. That's not how the ships are built now. Ships
No.
are built, the engine sends
Power. It's
energy.
It's a generator.
It sends energy to the generator, and the generator powers everything else.
Yeah,
the-
it's all electric.
It's all electric. Yeah. So if there's a problem with the generator, it means less power, which means everything can't operate. So they keep obviously all the hotel operations up and running, right? So you have AC in the cabin and hot water and, lights in the buffet and the main dining and down in the promenade. But the engine, it's going, or the propellers, they're going slow. So anyway, Immigrant is like, love this tech issues. It gave us
We've been seeing a lot of those.
It did give us an extra half a day on board, but it really doesn't. Right? Because first of all, you got to get out of your cabin.
Your luggage is already packed up and gone.
Right? And so it's
for the most part.
It's this weird. It's a weird feeling having those few extra hours. I mean, if it was a whole day, that would have been a different thing, right? Because nothing gets packed up. You just literally have a whole nother day. But it's like the half a day. So.
And then the sitting around and waiting.
Yeah, it was weird. It was just weird. Here's Danny's question. Do you think these cruise companies are paying internet data rates? Just turn on the internet for all and stop. I know. I wasn't going to go there, but 120 minutes. It's probably more about limits, not about. Let me explain this correctly. Regardless of speed, regardless of internet being internet, it's no different than it is here on land. There are only so many pipes, if you will, that go to each satellite. Let's say it's 100 pipes. So 100 people that have access, they all end up to the same satellite dish. The next 100 to the next satellite dish, and the next 100, right? So that's why even at home, if you're on satellite, there's times when internet is slower because there's more people using it, right? It's the same 100 trying to squeeze in. Well, if you only got 3 people, well, internet's going to be fast. If it's 100, it's not going to move. Well, if you open that up to everybody on the ship,
that's going to be crazy.
It's probably going to break the system. Yeah. Probably going to break the system. So that's probably why they do it the way they do. But in principle, I agree. Anyway. They did free internet on the horizon for our extra day. Yeah. Oh, by the way, those on the ship, all their packages have been extended. Those who already have the Wi-Fi package, extended. Drink packages, extended. All that extended.
Good. I believe they did that for us on the horizon as well.
Yeah. Bev says, does the weight of the bigger ships slow them down at all? Bev, that is a fantastic question. And I don't actually have an answer, but I don't think the answer is yes, because I think the engines or the propellers, the things pushing them are bigger to handle the additional weight.
I agree. Because if you look at, they all have their maximum speeds that are posted. If you look at the ship specifications, they all have that posted. And they all go relatively within a few knots.
21,
of each
22
other.
knots.
Yeah. So I don't think so. I think they are designed specifically for the larger ships.
Yeah. Patricia says, I'm in the transportation business, and if it's not moving, no money is being made. Again, I get that 100%. But you're also losing millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars
if you're having to
because you're having
all
to
this money and get the future cruise credits and extend packages and
refund an entire cruise, right? All that stuff, and potentially losing future business from pissed off customers.
Yes, and see that's why I would think taking a couple of days off. But I mean, is that going to solve the problem? I don't know. Does your mechanic find all of the little things that are going to break when you take your car in? I don't know.
Years ago, I had a job that was involved in preventative maintenance, and my whole job was to fix things, believe it or not, before they would actually break. That's what preventative maintenance means. It means going in, assessing the wear and tear of an item, and replacing it before it breaks. Because if it breaks, well, we're going to lose something. In this case, if an engine or a generator or whatever breaks, again, I'm not talking about, they lost a propeller, but a lot of the technical issues, a lot of them end up due to poor preventative maintenance. They're not replacing or fixing things that are at their wear date. As I mentioned, they're pushing these ships hard every day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. They never stop, except for the once every 6 years they go into dry dock, right? So preventative maintenance, it costs a little bit more to replace things before they break, but they never break. You never have downtime. You're always making money. I don't know. I don't know. That's just me.
a thought.
Roderick says, good point, Robert. Thank you very much. Ashley's like, I love my extra half day on the horizon. Oh, don't get me wrong. I'll take it. It just was weird. Because it could have been in my brain too, because
I think
I'm
it was
done.
because, no, you weren't feeling well either.
That's
and
true.
that
I was
is
not
a
feeling well.
huge thing.
Yeah.
You were not feeling well, and we had some challenges, and I think that was your
I'm not feeling well today either. 3 days on this migraine. I wasn't sure we were going to be here tonight. I'm hanging in there. They're talking to one another. Sorry. Macrina say, Danny says to Macrina, I would say that once you get the mass moving, it takes a lot less power. Yeah. Wind also has something to do with it as well. I watch a lot of documentary type stuff on cruises on YouTube, and you'll be amazed that a lot of times when a ship is coming into a dock, it actually cuts the power and it's letting the wind push it in. One of the ones I was watching recently, it was talking about by the time they were leaving, the winds had changed directions and it was actually pushing them out of the port. He said, we barely got the engines on and we're at like 6 knots and it's just pushing us. So wind has a big thing to do with this as well.
Oh, definitely.
So anyway, everybody's saying happy birthday. Patricia, the extra day on the horizon taught me patience. Yes. Yeah. And maybe that's like she said, Lisa said, I was not feeling well and I was just ready to go. And I knew we were having to deal with all the equipment as well. And it was just stuff on my mind. It wasn't just like, And then of course I know there was a lot of people who had flight issues and things. So that was on their mind, but anyway. All right. So let's move on. We got a couple more stories for you guys.
All right.
And then a crazy cruise comment. Crazy cruiser comment. So somebody, I forget who it was just a few minutes ago, was talking about would love to go from California to Hawaii. Well, Hawaii doesn't want you. Go home. Go
I
home.
feel like they've said that before. Haven't they said that before?
They have. So there's a new tax in Hawaii. It was voted in May. It's not 100% new news, but it's in the news, and we'll get to why. So this tax is the equivalent of 14% of the cruise fare.
Of the cruise fare.
Of the cruise fare.
Yikes.
14%. Now, of course, we can bring up immediately the Pride of America. Here's a ship that is there all the time. Every single day, it is somewhere in Hawaii. Now, ships that may go the 5 days, spend a couple days in Hawaii and back, obviously it's prorated because of the time that might be there.
Okay.
A lot of this is about the Pride of America. For those who don't know, NCL is the only cruise line. NCL is the only cruise line that has a ship docked in Hawaii full-time. It's called the Pride of America. It is the only U.S. flagged ship. And these people it's going to cost up to $500 more per cruise because of the tax.
Wow.
It's a huge increase.
Yeah.
So it was supposed to take effect January 1st this year. So CLIA comes in and
CLIA is the Cruise
Line International
Association.
Association. And they submitted a court case, right? They're suing them to try to get it reviewed. And sort of in the 11th hour, the U.S. Court of Appeals, the 9th District U.S. Court of Appeals. Stay of execution, if you will. All right? Temporary while everything is reviewed. So currently, there is no tax. But at any minute, the decision may be, yes, it's lawful, it's valid, let it go. So if you've already booked and you've already paid, you're going to be hit with that once you get to the ship.
Yikes. That'll be a big slap.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Correct. If you have not booked and you do book, then obviously you're going to see the prices considerably higher. Now, reason why I want to talk about this is, again, the Hawaiian Islands. They're islands in the middle of nowhere. 100%. I mean, not 100%. I don't know what the proportion of their economy is, but it's majorly tourism. Of course, again, people flying in as well, but the cruise lines bring a lot of money there. And I just don't understand why these cities and countries are doing this to the cruise industry, and more so the passengers that want to come see your beautiful town or your beautiful country. Because in the end, they may return for a longer visit, because that's what a lot of people do when they cruise. They want to go get a little sampling, see what they like, and then return and stay there for a longer stay.
Yes, we hear that all the time.
Now, there's an asterisk. There's a lot of tiny, small New England cities, or even, we'll just stay there, that are small, that all of a sudden a 7,000 passenger ship rolls up and it creates Armageddon. I understand. I get that. But you can't have it both ways. And a lot of the news that comes out and press reports and different things from these things, it really seems like they're trying to have their cake and eat it too. It can't be that way. So we get to Hawaii. It's all about tourism. And you're now trying to make us pay more to go. I think it's going to dip in, I'm not so excited anymore. You?
No. I mean, are they doing this to hotels as well, or is it just cruises? I'm assuming it's just cruises.
That part of the bill it's called the TAT, the TAT. I forget exactly what it stands for. I do believe it is part of a larger bill, but I do not believe it affects the hotels as much. And of course, they're using this money, pass Act 96. It's kind of going into the same tax structure that does apply to hotels and vacation rentals. So they may have already been paying those amounts. So if that's the case, if the hotels and vacation rentals and all that stuff in Hawaii have already been paying 14%, but the cruise line has not, though it's a pay raise, not a pay raise, it costs us more to go, I would understand, because I think it would be just fair.
Yeah.
It would be consistent. However, we're there for 8 hours.
Right.
Right. I mean, we don't have a rental car. We're not in a hotel. We're not using their electricity. At least humans. I mean, if they're plugging into the port, right? I don't know if there's shore power there or not. It's not like we're there for a week. We're in a city for 8 hours and back on the ship and then out to sea for,
and honestly, that
16
should
hours.
be included in your port charges and taxes.
Well, that's what it will be from now on.
Yeah. But I mean, if you've already booked and paid for your cruise in full, that should be your contract amount. Now, if your cruise is not paid in full and they enact that, I mean, I don't know.
I don't know how a government polices that
I
action.
don't know either. Yeah. Maybe it has to be if you haven't booked, but the moment you book, then it applies. Again,
when it
how
went
do
into
you-
when it went in May, when it was approved in May,
It's
January
that
1st.
day. Yeah.
Period.
Okay, never mind.
So, anyway, so I don't know. What do y'all think about that?
I think that stinks.
Yeah, I do too. Where's there it is. All right, let's see what everybody else has to say about it. EJ says the cruise industry is walking a fine line. Just one little issue in the world, all these companies would sink. Well, we can anybody say COVID, right? I'm surprised they survived
That is
the
true.
way they did.
Yeah, I mean,
They were hemorrhaging, but they survived.
they were really slapped hard during COVID.
Bev says it would have been nice if we knew exactly when we were leaving the ship, and if the idiots would follow debarkation instruction. I know.
Yeah, agreed.
We don't want Hawaii. Been there, totally overrated. I've been there, I don't know, 3 or 4 times, and fantastic.
I enjoyed my time there.
But oddly enough, I never went to any of the real major populace. I didn't go to Maui. I was on Kauai. We're smaller places. Man, I loved it.
I was just on the Big Island for a week. Yeah,
Loved
my
it.
mom and I loved it.
Patricia says, looks like a flight to Hawaii might be the next option. I know, right?
Maybe.
Angie says, Macrina, I talked to Kathy several times to book, but there have been some difficulties with MCA, so she's working on it. She's finalized booking tomorrow. Okay, perfect. Awesome. It's because of the radical politicians that hate everything. I know. It is. I think that's a lot of it. Woohoo, that's great. Oh, she's talking about, not the politicians, about joining the
About
event
joining
cruise.
us on the event cruise. Yes. Woohoo.
Uh,
I agree.
Danny's smiling. Okay. All right, we have one more story, guys.
All right.
And then crazy cruise comment for the week. So, Carnival.
What did they do now?
What the you doing? What is wrong with you guys? Their loyalty pins for 2026 have not shown up yet.
I've been hearing that.
So, I've done a lot of things in my life. So, oddly enough, I get a lot of this stuff. Okay. So, John Heald's commented about this, and this is fleet-wide. So, for anyone who doesn't know, when you go onto a Carnival ship, if you're, of course, I know their plan and their loyalty is changing, but currently, and it's been for a while, once you've cruised a couple times, every time you go on a ship, you get a little pin. And depending on your status, the pin may look a little different. It's got the name of the ship and the year on it. I mean, these are major collector's things for those who are loyal in Cruise Carnival. Again, Macrina will tell you this. And it's not like January 1st, 2026 came out of the blue. You know it's coming. The date is coming. It's coming.
It's been coming for a long time.
Coming for 365 days. I'm just saying. Now, I'm going to make a general assumption based upon John's comment that the goods, the pins, are stuck in a container. The container was on a ship. The ship had technical difficulties.
Where have I heard that term before?
Had to be towed back to port. Fixed. Turn around. Boom.
Fine.
Okay. Fine. I get this. I have actually ordered dozens, if not hundreds, of containers of goods from China before. Okay? This is, from a planning standpoint, at least a 60-day process. Okay? You've got fast boat and slow boat. Slow boat is the least expensive way. I promise you that's what they're sticking the pins on. They're not putting it on a fast boat. I'm not talking about the little tiny little boats. They just call it a fast boat. So, 60-day window. Now, that's shipping because first it's got to get here. Then it's got to go through customs.
Where it may sit for a while.
Potentially. Then they've got to take it to a warehouse, break it all down, and disperse it by ships, and then ship it again to wherever the ship is that the things need to go to. 60-day window. Now, in front of the 60-day window, you got to add manufacturing time to get the pins made. All right, how many ships do they have now? 27 ships?
Quite a few.
You know, now mind you, they only have to make these pins for a certain amount of time because the VIFP, it goes away
Program's
this
going
year.
away, yeah.
Right? So, 2 potential scenarios with this. One, which is probably what really happened. Somebody up big time and didn't place the order in enough time. Somebody's without a job today. I mean, really. Because now what has to happen? We're talking about money. For anyone who wants their pin, I can tell you there's going to be a lot of people. They're going to have to mail it, which is what John said. They will mail it to everyone. What is that going to cost them?
How much? I hope they have a lot of forever stamps.
Right? I mean, because they're literally going to have to mail it to everybody. So let's say it's $1. Now mind you, also the people to do it. They're going to have to fail the emails or phone calls. That's why I'm saying somebody.
Envelopes, yeah. It's the packaging. It can't be just a normal envelope because it's a little pin.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be something cushioned
Padded.
Or, yeah.
Now.
Wah, wah, wah.
I know. There it is. Second option. They just don't give a because they've changed their loyalty program. They'll get here when they get here.
Well, I mean, that could have been the initial thing and probably the backlash that they're maybe having to rethink it. I don't know. I mean, I could see either scenario, to be honest.
I don't know. And it just comes down to customer service, right? This is a customer service thing. These are items that are expected
Yes.
to be delivered
Yes.
as part of the contractual agreement we have between passenger and cruise line.
Right?
Part of us getting on this ship at this time, this whatever, is this reward, whatever it is. It doesn't matter what it is. Could be a bottle of water. It doesn't matter what it is. If you've not done your job to provide said item, I just, look, for those who went on the group cruise, you know what we used to do. I have a business background, y'all, right? So when the proverbial hits the wall,
The fan.
yeah, well, with the fan, the wall, whatever, gonna let this one loose. Sorry, it's time for a Donald. Sorry, bad English cracks. Crack.
Oh, here we go.
Go watch Slow Horses. You'll get it. And anyway, it's just bad customer service, and bad customer service just seems to be acceptable these days. Just with all things in general, it's bad. I don't know, y'all, and I'm sorry. My migraine's killing me right now, and I know I'm smiling, but trust me, I am screaming inside, and I'm trying to get through this for y'all. And so the words may not come to me because my brain is not well.
Words aren't coming to me just because my brain is not. I don't have the migraine. I have the old age zucchini.
I just feel it's become acceptable to take, for lack of a better term, the bribe. Here's your $100 onboard credit. Here's your 25% future credit, cruise credit. Oh, we'll mail it to you, which, by the way, you have to reach out to them, submit a bunch of documentation for them to send it. It's not automatic. It's not just going to come, right? Rewards are not just delivered anymore. You have to go get them, request them, find them. I just, to me, it's a sad state of affairs all the way around. This is just a small little thing, but it's a small thing on the tip of a big iceberg.
It's become the standard. I mean, customer service is not, it's not what it used to be. It's just not
No.
anywhere.
Now, what do y'all think about that? We want to hear from you. Which, by the way, it's been a while since we've done this. If you're new around here, do us a huge favor and you haven't already done so. Hit that thumbs up button. Consider subscribing to the channel as well. If you love cruising, we do all things cruising. Obviously, we're live right now from our studios here somewhere in Central Florida. We call it Tall Man Studios. We'll give you the bigger look here. It's not a set piece. We are live. And we go live when we're on cruise ships as well. If you're new to the channel, you can check out. We got playlists. We broadcast live more than anyone that we know of.
Yep.
And again, if we're on ships, as long as the Wi-Fi permits us, Princess, we will be live every night. MSC Divina? No, it wasn't the Divina. Yeah, it was the Divina. Last night we lost Wi-Fi. Wasn't it on the Divina?
No, the
No,
Grandiosa.
the Grandiosa. Grandiosa.
Good Lord.
Sorry, Divina. Sorry, Gushti. Grandiosa. Anyway,
Yes, Grandiosa.
come and join us. We'd love to have you. And we're going to play that group cruise. We have a group cruise or event cruise coming up. You see it right next to Lisa. Consider joining us. We're going to play a little video for that here in just a minute. But I want to see what people have to say about our thoughts about this. They're talking about the group, the event cruise mostly. Yep. Sorry, I forgot to say hello to you both. Don't worry about it. We got it. A logistic nightmare with the pens. Yeah, it really is. And I can speak for myself. I'll let Lisa speak for herself. I love the pins. But I don't go around the ship wearing, all 27 pins that we've corrected. In fact, we don't even have them organized kind of in a way. They're just in a thing, in a little case, if you will. But
We're working on it.
we are. But I love the fact that they do that. But to me, as I mentioned, someone really dropped the ball big time here. Right?
Oh, I agree.
It's the 25th of January. It's not the 2nd or 3rd or 4th. The month is almost over. And the pins just got to California.
Oh, they have them, though.
They don't have them. They're still in the container. I don't know when this article was, so hang on. Let me see when the news came in. The 23rd. So they got here on the 23rd. So that was what? Today? Yesterday? I don't know. What was the
It doesn't
date?
say the 25th.
I don't know. I just said it and I can't even remember. I told you my brain is really bad tonight, guys. It really, really hurts. Today's the 25th. So they got there a couple days ago. But the point is, ship's having a problem. They fixed it in a couple of days and put it back out to sea. It was just a few days. This wasn't a 23-day problem. So
That's
they
a
were
huge delay.
never going to be here on time because of the logistics of everything. Again, Patricia will tell you because she's in the logistics industry, right? As I mentioned, you're going to order something for China. You need it here where you need it ready to go by January 1. That means it needs to be on a boat no later than November 1st. It will take the month to get here. So by December 1st, it's stateside. You then give customs a week. It's the second week of December. Now, mind you, shipping in December gets challenging because of Christmas.
Yes, it
Right?
does.
So it then goes to wherever their probably West Coast warehouse is. They then have to break it up. That's going to take a week. We're now into the second week of December. And then it's going to have to get shipped to each of the distribution points for all the ships, all 27 of them. It's going to take another week. We're the third week of December. And then eventually it gets put on a pallet to get on the ship. Now, maybe that happens one step before. Maybe they're palletizing stuff in more of a centralized location, and then it gets trucked with pallets to their location. So there may be one less step, but it's still that week. Now, it's gotten to the ship right after Christmas, but before New Year's, which gives the ship a week to have them there and be ready for them.
Yes.
And I mean, that's cutting it close, guys.
That is cutting it close.
That's cutting it close. That's just the shipping. Remember, on a boat, November 1st. That means you have to place your order really no later than I would do it, no later than October 1st.
I would agree. A month for manufacturing.
Correct. And if you're ordering goods on a regular basis, their New Year's is really sort of in mid-January and stuff. So we would always have to take that into account when we order containers, because you really lose about 3 weeks of time. And anyway, so yeah, this was not a small thing. But again, as I also mentioned, it is a small thing on the tip of a bigger iceberg. So anyway. Danny's like, nightmare or planned? I don't know. Ashley says, agree, customer service is not the same in most places. Generational and I feel COVID are both responsible. Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I totally agree. I feel like COVID was huge with it because people were not allowed to go out and socialize. Everybody was, basically restricted to your home. So social media was increased dramatically. And of course, we all know social media, people are not their best selves in social media because they're not face to face.
No.
Yeah. So I think that was a huge part of it.
Yeah. By the way, Patricia says we always get stuff from China at least 6 months before we need it. Yeah. When I was doing, we would actually keep 9 to 12 months as we were building. We would keep 9 to 12 months of inventory in the warehouse. Which I had to inventory every day. And as things grew, the shipments actually got bigger and bigger and bigger because we're
going through more.
Correct. Right. So, but yeah. Anyway. All right. Well, let's see what any other comments about this, and then we'll do the crazy cruise comment. Also takes about a week to offload the container at the ports. Yeah, depending on where it is in the ship. So it's usually 24 to 48 hours to get it off, but it's the customs that takes a week. So that's the week that you're talking about. So, and I included that 30-day shipping, week to clear customs, week to get it to wherever. Well, a day or two if it's local. If it's further, I always go a week. But you're late December before it hits the ship. And again, I'm pushing the envelope. I would order it October 1st. And so I'm getting it by December 1st. That leaves time for technical issues. I'm just saying. But think about this. This is a lot of pins. Right?
It's a ton of pins.
I mean, how many berths does Carnival have now? Right? And everybody, not everybody, but, as you go up, once you're, red or whatever it is? No. After your first cruise, you would get a pin on your next one. Right? Yeah. Everybody on the ship would get a pin. But you got to go and get it anyway. But we're talking about thousands, millions, probably billions a year.
Probably so, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Patricia, I'm sorry. Bev, go count how many berths on Carnival ships. Let us know.
Oh, my gosh. Don't do it.
I'll do it later. All right. This week's crazy cruise comment. Drum roll. All right. Actually, you know what? We should do crazy cruise comment after.
Okay.
Well, that's it for the news, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week. Okay. For those who don't know, we turn this into a podcast, right? Because we're on Apple Podcast, we're on Spotify, Instagram, TikTok. We're all
All over the
kinds. Yeah,
place.
we're all over the
We're
place.
all over
I've got to
social media.
change that. The 4 that are over there now just aren't enough. I'm running out of space. Nobody's going to be able to read it. We're in so many. We have
You
so
know,
many.
you could probably bump up the information.
Yeah,
about
if
the
we're not
event
going to put the
cruise.
countdown
Yeah.
tick thing up there anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, this week's crazy cruise comment, and again, we don't say who made the comment, protect their identity, okay? But this came from a video, one of our deck tour videos, where for those who don't know, we actually walk the passenger cabin decks. It was a passenger cabin deck video, and we point out where all the cabins are in relationship to the stairs, elevators, crew doors, all these things. And we superimpose a deck plan up there with a GPS dot that follows me around the ship. It's kind of unique. But again, we do this for the passenger cabins. And this was a passenger cabin deck video. And as I said, I call out all the numbers as I'm walking by of the cabins. This week's comment is, quote unquote, wait, so it's all even number cabins? End quote.
That just cracked me up.
Here's what's really funny. I start the video out on the odd cabin numbers. 131, 133, 135. Wait, is it just even number cabins?
My guess is they just zipped around to the other side of the ship to see their cabin. And of course, you know, most of the ships these days, odd on one side, even on the other.
I don't
They did
know.
fast forward, is my guess.
I don't know. Just hit play. Let it run. You don't need to skip around. The videos are not that long. If you're impatient, if you didn't know, some people don't know this. If you click the little wheel icon towards the bottom right side of a YouTube video, you can increase the speed,
You can.
the playback speed
Yep.
of the video. I watch literally everything on 1.5 to 2.0.
Yes.
Most videos I'm watching, 2 times the speed or 1.5. And what's really funny, every once in a while, I'll not make it and I'll watch a video from somebody that I normally watch. I'm like, oh my God, did they have a stroke?
They
Because they're
sound-
talking so slow.
It sounds so slow. It's crazy. We've gotten so used to hearing the fast talk.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. But I understand everything they're saying. It's probably because I speak fast. So that is your crazy cruise comment this week. Oh, there was another one. It was the runner-up. What I forget what it was now. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
You didn't tell me about the runner-up.
No. It was just from. Let me see if I can find it because it's another one of those. Oh God, I can't. Hang on, let me drag this over here. Come on. Come on. Oh my God, it's not moving. There we go. Okay. Community. Oh, somebody thinks I sound like Heath Ledger's Joker.
Oh, yeah,
In one
you
of the
did tell me
videos.
about that. Yeah.
That was a fun comment.
But that wasn't the runner-up, was it? Was that your runner-up?
No, that was not the runner-up. The runner-up was from a video called Hurricane and Storm Surge on Star of the Seas, Deck 16. The comment? What ship?
Did you look at the title?
I feel like the dog that's confused. What ship? Like, you gotta be kidding me. You people are killing me. All right, it is snack time, everyone. And if you're new around here, when we do our live shows on Sunday, we're gonna have snack time. Quick, run to your fridge, get your snack. We're gonna play a little snack time music for you. And we're gonna have our snack, which of course, popcorn.
crazy like no one else. The final moment before I lose myself. And it's no use working 9 to 5. If you want more than to stay alive, so come on over, we can make it through. Take my hand, I know just what to do. On the beat, keep dancing through the night. Stay up until the morning light, the morning light. Oh, so come on over, we can make it through. Take my hand, I know just what to do. On the beat, keep dancing through the night. Stay up until the morning light, the morning light. Oh, the morning light. Oh.
All right, everybody. What did you have for your snack tonight?
Are we unmuted?
Yes, we are unmuted.
Okay, just checking.
Here's the funny thing. It's not that I forget to unmute. It's that, like tonight, we start snack time here. And then Lisa, every week, aren't you going to switch it to the other screen? I'm like, oh, crap. Now I've muted this screen. I then go to the other screen, but I forget to unmute the first screen. But this week I remembered. So
Okay.
I'm good. All right. Whew, man, it's hot in here. Is it just my head? Danny said COVID taught us the cruise industry to do more with less.
And us to accept it. Apparently.
You know, I'm not sure I would agree, Danny. I think COVID taught us the cruise industry to do less with less. It is not the same experience that we used to have pre-COVID. Everything is less. There are less employees, less benefits, less customer service, less.
Less niceties. No
Yeah.
tablecloths and
Yeah.
a lot of, yeah. Reuse your silverware.
So I don't think they're doing more. They're doing less. I would love if they would do more, but at the least do the same.
Yeah. That's what I would say is the same.
But even like cabin stewards, they're cleaning. And you know what? I never talked to one prior to COVID, so I have no idea. But a lot of these guys are cleaning like 30 plus cabins, which is quote unquote why they only get to them when they get to them. I'm like, okay, well then how is it you used to live under my bed? Were they all cleaning 30 cabins at that point, or were they cleaning 15? Well, if they were only cleaning 15.
I feel like we used to have a cabin steward and an assistant for every You don't think we did?
No.
I felt like we used to have an assistant.
No. We do when we're on MSC up in the yacht club. We have the butler and the assistant butler.
No, but I'm thinking, you're talking about them living under the bed. I feel like there was always two.
No, I just feel it's less with less. Again, for those who are new, we just like to bring these things out and have a conversation on what we feel. We love the cruise industry. We love cruising. I would be on a ship right now if I could afford it.
Without a doubt.
I would be on a ship 365 days a year.
Without a doubt.
But there are things that are different than before, and we like to have the conversation about it. So that's what we like to do. And then they took their short tempers and bad behavior out to the stores. Yeah, right? COVID was not fun in retail. No, it was
Definitely not.
Oh, sigh. Right? All right, so let's see. Danny had popcorn.
Yay.
Ashley is can't see, can't hear.
Yeah.
I think it's, I don't know. There's Danny's popcorn. Looks like Angie had ice cream and cake.
Ooh.
At least ice cream and cake icons.
Nice.
And Patricia's having leftover pot roast sandwich with honey mustard. Ooh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
And Bev's like, who reads? I'm trying. Obviously, I don't do well. Oh, Zahn, what's up, my brother? How you doing? Good to see you from Turkey. Good to see you.
Absolutely.
Cheese with crake. Cheese and crackers, I'm assuming.
I think so. Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's cheese and crackers.
Yes,
that sounds
here
good.
it is. Cheese and crackers.
Oh, yeah.
It's okay. We read text. I meant more passengers, more cruises with less resources, So the same thing you said. Okay, perfect. Okay.
Okay.
We're on the same page. My brother Robert is always full of energy. I try to be. Tonight's an off night for me, but that's okay. The show must go on, as they say in entertainment.
Absolutely.
So, speaking of the show going on, I don't think it's going to go on much further than this. I've had enough of you people. You bother me. I'm tired.
Love you guys.
We got 2 more episodes of Slow Horse to watch before we're
Right?
done with the entire series.
Yes.
We got to go. We don't have to go home, but we do have to get the out of here. Peace. Love you. Mean it.
So here we go again, it's no surprise. 'Cause we know better than to roll the dice. So take this love and try to make it new. You can't fight it when it feels so true. You drive me crazy like no one else.